I haven't seen you since the plague.
Expect the worst. Some drink champagne, some die of thirst. No way of knowing which way it's going. Hope for the best, expect the worst. Hope for the best, expect the worst. The world's a stage, we're unrehearsed. Some reach the top, friends, while others drop, friends. Hope for the best, expect the worst. I knew a man who saved a fortune that was splendid. Then he died the day he planned to go and spend it, shouting, live while you're alive. No one will survive. Life is sorrow. Here today and gone tomorrow. Live while you're alive. No one will survive. There's no guarantee.
Batman last night.
Yeah.
This is the first video game I've literally ever finished. Like,
is Batman Arkham Asylum in the year of our Lord 2021?
dude, it bangs so hard.
It still bangs though, right?
It bangs so hard.
Absolutely whips.
I literally immediately after I was like, and I'm downloading the sequel.
Oh yeah,
100%.
I'm super excited because you're gonna get to be able to see Arkham Asylum, and then how it evolved into Arkham City, and then how it evolved into Arkham Knight, and then you're gonna see how, like 6 years later, Spider-Man just took all of the good stuff and made it in Spider-Man.
Right.
And you're gonna be able to do all those things in the next 6 months instead of over a decade.
And
it's so wild. Like literally watching it, like while I'm like as I'm like getting more adept at like using the controls, and I'm like shooting the back claw, the grappling hook, and I'm like swinging between gargoyles and realizing that I can change my angle of perspective while I'm swinging so that I know where I'm looking when I land. And like,
you're a pro gamer.
This is sick. I was like,
you've learned all the tips and tricks.
I literally was like, oh my god, this is fucking Spider-Man. Like,
yeah.
This is so sick. I also saw apparently Injustice 2 is like a really good game according to some folks.
Yeah, it's like a Mortal Kombat. Yeah, exactly. Style.
It's a Mortal Kombat style.
Yeah, it's just like a fighting game. So you don't do any like traversal, but you're just like, I'm Nightwing, and I'm gonna beat the shit out of Flash for reasons.
Because the way that the video shows up for Injustice 2 is like it shows like all these like scenes and like I was like, ooh, that looks. Is there a story or is it just
yeah. There's like a story. It's like in the first Injustice, Superman kills the Joker for reasons, and Superman becomes like an uber fascist, and then Batman leads the like resistance against him, and then in the sequel, guess what? Our two forces have to unite against an even bigger bad guy. It's the first time a sequel has done that. And yeah, you'll watch all these like articulated cutscenes where like they're having like Justice League like round table meetings as like the defense force against Brainiac, and then they'll be like, I need to fight you, and it cuts to 2D and they just go like, ooh,
side by side. It's literally Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, it's literally Mortal Kombat. They're like, oh,
it's
call me
the company that made Mortal Kombat.
Oh, okay.
Exactly.
There's one thing I remember growing up and like watching other folks play video games, right? The little amounts that I would play video games, it would be I was with a group of folks and they started playing Mortal Kombat and I was literally just like, I hate this. Like, I hate this. Like, I was like, so you're telling me you two just
I don't like
pick characters, beat the shit out of each other, and like I saw someone rip a body in half and I went, I'm gonna go, because I was like, why? What?
That's a Mortal Kombat thing specifically.
Yeah, they love that.
Yeah, I don't like fighting games for that same reason. I need my games to like not challenge me. I'm not gonna say I'm one of those people.
You're elite.
But like,
You're a
I
pro
want
gamer.
my games to be more than one thing. And fighting games feel like they're very, very singular. I know
I had this
that break out of that, but
sure. But I mean, like, I had that
into
association with video games that they were just that, right? Like, the only time I saw people playing video games were either, like, those kind of video games or not even story mode versions of just, like, I'm crawling around a warehouse with a gun and I'm gonna shoot these things.
No, Metal
And-
Gear. You saw a lot of Metal Gear.
Metal Gear,
Metal Gear, Splinter Cell,
Tom
Street
Clancy, Call of Duty, whatever.
Like
It's-
Call of Duty, Halo, like all of that stuff. I remember
All that
watching
shit,
it, and
yeah.
not inside of any story mode. Even, and I just remember being like, "Is this the whole fucking game?" Like, because I suck at those. I suck at point and shoot. I can't do it. Maybe I would get better if I tried, but I also don't find it appealing. And then finishing Batman, like going through Arkham Asylum, I was like, "This is what video games can be."
Yeah.
I was
Jake,
like,
the only point and shoot I would
whoa!
ever suggest to you is Portal 1 and 2.
I
would
was
absolutely love
literally-
those.
I am
But
obsessed with
I wouldn't
Portal.
suggest
They're not on
anything
PlayStation.
else.
They need to be on Steam.
You can get the orange box on PlayStation, I think. And that's Portal 1 and 2 in the same... No, orange box was Xbox exclusive, wasn't it?
Yeah.
No way to play Portal on PlayStation. I was looking into it. Unless I missed it, but like...
You know, I think you might be right, because I think the Half-Life... Valve made a thing called the orange box that had, like, Half-Life 2, and then Half-Life 2 Episode 1, Half-Life 2 Episode 2, and Team Fortress 2, and Portal 1 and 2. And I used to tell my friends to get it on PlayStation, and it didn't exist. So I don't think that those games are on PlayStation at all. So
No, I don't think they are. No, it's all good, but those are definitely games. Like, you're spot on. Those are the kind of games that I want to play. Those are very exciting.
That's the only first-person shooter I would tell you to give a shot. Well, that's not entirely true.
There are
first-person
some
games
that I
good.
think.
Well,
I would
BioShock
recommend.
is one that I've interested
Yeah,
in.
Bioshock.
Yeah, sure.
The Bioshocks. I think would be
Dishonored as a sequel.
Yeah, Dishonored could be cool. I was was the one I was just thinking. Oh, Outer Worlds. It's like an anti-capitalist space comedy.
Oh, let me write that down. That sounds
Yes, I see.
exactly. What is it called? Outer Worlds?
One of the best companion characters in Outer Worlds is an asexual space engineer,
Yeah.
and they fucking rock.
I
Yeah,
love that so much.
you can teach like a super religious dude that his god doesn't exist. There's a lot like going on here.
Big fan of that.
Yeah, very very
I
fun. I think you'd get a kick out of that game.
I think like the first three, maybe there are only three. The Uncharted games are on PlayStation now.
There are
There's
four and a half.
four.
There's four.
Yeah, there are 4.5. Yeah.
4.5.
It's a
But
half.
it's like
they made a game that's like Miles Morales, the Spider-Man game that just came out, that was actually DLC initially, but they liked making it and liked what they were doing with it enough that they made it a standalone half price
What is
Yes.
DLC?
downloadable
content. So, like, if you were playing a game that just came out today, there's a good chance that in about 6 to 8 months they would release more story to it, and it would be DLC. So you'd buy the outside the box DLC, and that would mean that you get the story that you had before plus this extra couple of quests for $20.
So they basically made, instead of like the Uncharted games that are like, most of them are like 20 hours, you know, if you like look for little collectibles, the half game, which doesn't star the main character, it stars two like supporting characters, an Indian woman and a black woman, and it's like 10 hours as opposed to 20. But it's still like its own little story. It's
And
good.
Miles
You'll
Morales
like the
is also
Uncharted.
one of those short.
Yeah, you'd want to play the
Everyone
original.
got super excited.
Yeah, you'd want to play like
Everyone
the
got super excited
regular
about Miles
Spider-Man
Morales,
first.
and I got really. I think Kevin and I just started talking at the same time twice in a row.
Twice in a row. Yeah, we both.
Sorry.
It was a
Sorry.
Canadian standoff, and we let the other one go, and then we. Oh, it's a stop sign all over. Oh, hey, you go. Oh no, you. No.
That's a bummer.
Yeah, no, I mean it's not. That's actually not. I said that, but it's not, because to be completely honest, I didn't finish Spider-Man because at like the 25, 30 hour mark, I was like, "There's too much of this. I don't want to do all this. Like, take it, and then I haven't gone back." And so, like a 10-hour Spider-Man experience that's like, forget all this extra shit. Here's just a story. Sounds dope. The problem is, I would have much preferred what?
No, I was just reflecting. I'm like, how many hours is Arkham Asylum supposed to be?
Probably
here's
about
the thing.
what
I
you
don't
did.
mean that 20 hours or 30 hours or 40 hours is on its own too much. I think that if you give me a game that takes me 40 hours to beat because you fill the world with nonsense, and it's like not distractible nonsense. You're like, I'm gonna go over here, and you're like, ooh, what's that? But like, just so much stuff happening, and a lot of it like pulling you, not like enticing you, actually pulling you. Then like that gets really tiresome, and you get tired of going from point A to point B because there's so much shit going on. You don't want to just ignore it. And I felt like Spider-Man got like that towards the end because, no, not intending to spoil anything. By the end of that game, New York City is basically at war with like 3 different factions.
It's like, the private military company turned out to be the bad guys? What the? And then you play Miles Morales and you're like, the oil company with its own private army turned out to be the bad guys? I for one, am agog. Who could have foreseen this?
Who could have foreseen such an unexpected outcome?
The stories in those games are fine, but you play to beat Spoderman. Yeah. You play because being Spoderman is very fun. They do little character stuff, fine, but I'm like, my mentor is Dr. Otto Octavius? I bet he will continue to be a regular man for the whole game. He will continue to be my mentor and nothing else for the whole game.
That was definitely one of the exciting things about playing Arkham Asylum. It was like, here's the deal, like it's like we assume you know who these people are,
exactly.
And if you don't, like, there's gonna be like stuff that informs you as you go through it, like, but not in the game. It's literally like,
but it doesn't even inform you in the ways that like, it doesn't even inform you in the ways that games like try to let you know in case you didn't already know. Like, there's no part of that game that's like, if you're playing this, you don't know who Batman is. Like, it's like
if you don't know who Batman is, what are you fucking doing?
Right.
Exactly.
Like, everyone knows the points of Batman, right? And it's like, there are other Batman games that I like these good, like, story-based games that came out that I think are compelling, but that game has this little hitch where you're like, yes, my best friend, Harvey Dent, a lawyer. What will happen to Harvey Dent over the course of our story?
Wait, which game is this?
They're the Batman Telltale games. And they're like very little gameplay. You basically just select how the story plays out with like some more minor point and click gameplay elements, and they're quite good. But they do have this like stumbling block where you're like, I just met this interesting character with a white face and green hair who wants to be my friend. Well, should get in with this guy.
What could go wrong?
They're good games, but you do suffer from like knowing what happens in Batman stories.
Yeah, that's why the Arkham games are so great. Is because they're just like, nope, everyone's already everybody.
It was just like
be introduced to really anybody new here. We're just gonna.
Killer Croc is a big crocodile. You know how this goes.
Killer Croc is so great. The other thing that's so wild, 10 feet tall.
It's so
huge. Oh man,
so good.
I mean, also so just good. The dynamic of that game where they're like, all right, now walk as slowly as possible, and it's just like what a clever thing to do. They were like, all right, well, instead of running this whole time, just walk really quietly in silence, fearing for your life. And it's just pure just like stress and anxiety, and it's this really cool tension, and it's just like, whoa, like, it was that was such a new experience for me, because like,
Jace, keep playing them, they're so good.
Yeah,
they get better.
The Arkham one,
they definitely like do what you want. Yeah, they do what you want a sequel to do, where they take what worked in the first one, they blow it out, they add some stuff, they refine what's already there. Arkham City, again, the story is
within the first 3 seconds,
whatever.
Realizing that the sequel had fucking Two-Face, Catwoman, Penguin, I was like, yo, this is wild. Because I remember, I mean, Batman is what got me into
Hugo Strange.
Yeah, Hugo Strange, who's not one I'm super familiar with. I keep remembering, but like, anyway,
the
first, literally, Arkham Asylum, like, you're going through it, and I'm like, they effectively pulled together a really great Batman story, like an exceptionally good Batman story, using several of the big bads, and in an effective way. Like, none of them felt like they didn't belong in the story, you know? Like, it didn't feel like, let's just throw another bad guy in because that. It was like, everything worked.
Well, yeah, and it's great because it's Batman locked in like a prison, literally locked in the prison he locks all of his enemies in.
Yeah,
So you're
it's
like,
just
all right, bud. These are all people that you put here,
the
so they all
perfect
have
concept
beef.
for a Batman game. They did it.
literally.
They nailed it.
And
Good
then,
job, gang.
and then I was like, damn, like this is like so many of the big ones. And then to see that the sequel is just like, hey, we forgot a few, so like here they are.
We couldn't
It's
afford
just
to
like-
design these guys, so so here we designed Deadshot this time. Don't worry. Harley Quinn, we've changed her outfit. Don't worry. Like it's very.
I'm
it's
curious
very
about Joker. I haven't met him yet. I started like the first couple minutes of the sequel, and like it's like
Arkham City Joker is my favorite Joker.
He's a pretty cool dude. Did you get
It's
to
my
play
favorite
as
Joker.
I have gotten to.
Catwoman?
I'll let you know. I've
Okay.
gotten to the point where Joker tried to shoot Selena
Cool.
Kyle, and then
How dare.
and then I find out that Harley Quinn is in that building that shot came from, and I just walked into that building,
Okay.
and then I had to go. So I don't know anything inside the building that has the sniper in it.
Okay.
The old fake Joker guy.
Yeah.
I definitely like the thing. It did the thing where it was like, oh, Joker is a character, and then you look to his character thing, and it's just like outline. It's like you don't actually see what he looks like. It's just like that, which was like, I'm like, why are they doing that?
Why are they hiding him from me?
Why are they hiding him? We know what Joker looks like. What is this?
Yeah,
And,
I saw him at the end of the last game. He looks
But
like a
apparently
clown
I
Hulk.
don't know what he looks
Yeah,
like.
exactly. Yeah.
And then the last game is going to completely change all of that stuff for you the whole
Origins?
time.
Mm.
No. Oh,
What is it
shit,
called?
there are
Hold on.
4.
Origins
Arkham
is in
Knight
there.
is the
though.
third. Okay, so there's three games made by one studio: Arkham Asylum, Arkham City, and Arkham Knight. That is the trilogy. In between Arkham City and Arkham Knight was Arkham Origins, which was made by a different studio under the same publisher. It is not a bad game.
I
but
like
it. Is
it.
not one of the trilogy
It's
games.
it's a game I like just because it's very refined. It's like, okay, it's Christmas Eve and Batman has like 8 assassins that are out to kill him, and one by one you eliminate the assassins. And it's like, oh, this game came
And it's
out.
like his first month on the job or some shit.
Exactly.
Too. Like it's early Batman.
So all 4 are definitely worth playing, I think. But Origins is of course a flashback. It is the origins of how this all goes down. They're quite good. They're quite good. I enjoy them.
It's the way. So the third one is
Night.
The third one that came out was Origins.
Return to Arkham on Xbox.
So
What is
Return to Arkham is like a combo pack. It's like
Yeah.
a trilogy.
So you already have everything that's in Return to Arkham.
Gotcha. Yeah, it's
It's a little
I haven't
confusing.
seen the third.
It's
I haven't seen Arkham Knights anywhere.
It's on there.
So if you got I think Return to Arkham is
It's just the first 2. Return to
It's the
Arkham is
first
just the
2,
first
yeah.
2. Arkham Knight.
Yeah.
It's with a K. So like
Whoa.
like Dark Knight.
Whoa. Okay.
yeah, I
let's
know,
see.
really throwing you for a loop there.
Yeah. Oh my god, I can get it for $10.
Yeah, exactly. Because it came out like 5 years ago. That's Jace. This is what I've been advocating for so long: is that everyone should wait like 4 years after a console comes out, because then you can get it for cheap, and there is hundreds of games to play for a third of what they used to cost. It's a great
I'm really
way to
excited about how I managed to pull off literally just like it's 2021. I finally got a PlayStation 4, and now I'm just like catching up on everything that I didn't know I was missing.
be. I was
Oh,
you,
have
but
two-
2 years ago,
I think you
so
have
I
two
get you.
pretty good sages.
I'm also very excited about this as well. Yeah, it's just like the people that I can look. I'm like, oh, these are people that like understand deeply like nerd culture, video game culture, comic book culture, all of those like sci-fi fantasy culture. Okay. Speaking of which, right? This is a show about Witcher. We're going to talk about Witcher at some point.
This is
Watching
advanced
the two
Witcher
episodes
studies.
that we were talking about today. Literally, I was like, oh, I need to play this game.
100%. Hondo P.
Fun fact: because of this show, this game reached its highest concurrent player count ever.
Like 5
And the
years
game
after it
like
came out.
6
Yeah.
years ago.
Yeah, exactly. 5 years after it came
hang
out,
on, I have-
the most people
I
of
wanna
all
say
time were
one
playing.
thing about Batman before we leave.
Please give me more.
Did you play with fear at all while you were doing the stealth parts? Like,
In the first one?
did you act like Batman was toying with the bad guys?
Oh, did I like blow up a wall that wasn't near me to freak them out and then like get them?
Yeah.
Sometimes I would sometimes try and get them because I knew I could catch their heart rate, and I would be like, "Oh, okay, these guys are terrified now." And it freaked me out at one point because at some points, like they start like firing off at nothing, and at one point I was like, "Oh, are they shooting?" And then I was like, "Oh, they're not shooting at me." And I was
They're
like, "Oh, this is
scared.
good. They don't
They're
know where I am."
scared.
Yeah.
Oh, they're scared
So
of the
keep
Batman.
playing with that because I think the like scare tactics that Batman can pull off get better with each game too. But like one of my favorite memories in Batman games is in Arkham City, and I don't remember where specifically, but it was just I had played Arkham Knight like you just before and gone right to Arkham City, so I was
Arkham
like
Asylum?
in my groove. Or sorry, Arkham. I played Arkham Asylum and went right into Arkham City, and I was in my groove. And I remember like spray painting a wall, and then like knocking a guy out and blowing up a wall, so everybody turned around and started backing away from it, and then backed under the gargoyle where a guy was hanging and throwing a batarang and cutting him down so he landed next to his friends. And then them like scattering because that's terrifying. And like getting an achievement because I left one guy and he was like walking bent over, hunched, like terrified, and I walked behind him until he turned around and saw me, and he like fell over backwards off the edge of a ledge and knocked himself out. And I got an achievement for like getting a guy to scare himself unconscious.
That's amazing.
So like you can absolutely
That's so
be
sick.
like you can absolutely be a dark menace as Batman in those games.
That's very.
So,
I mean, I got excited when I was going against the Poison Ivy boss, which very cool, and realizing that if I beat up one of the little rogue dudes while he's up against what's seemingly the edge, if I get like a nice 3 combo and they're right there, I can kick them off. And I don't need to worry about doing a whole thing. They can just like be gone. And I was like, oh, sick.
Batman doesn't kill anybody.
Yeah, I was like, literally, I was playing with my roommate, and there's like takedowns that you could do, and it just goes. They punch down, you see him like move his arm, and you hear, and it's like there's no way he didn't just fucking murder that guy. There's no way.
Dude, there was a.
It's the greatest lie these fucking superhero games tell is that Batman and Spider-Man are not killing 37 people every half hour. It's so... In Spider-Man, you were kicking dudes off of buildings, but he's like, no, they're fine.
Wait, Kev.
I know
follow
they
them?
like...
Okay.
The little web shoots out from them and they attach to a building. Like, I know
Attached to the
how it
building.
works, but it like...
Wait, what happens?
So in
in
Spider-Man...
I
Spider-Man,
need
he
to
knocks
play
someone-
Spider-Man is what this is, right?
Yeah,
I need
I
to
mean,
play.
of course. Yeah. No, you need to play Spider-Man. It's Caleb was wrong. It's a great game all the way through. No, it does get a little tiresome if you try to play it like all the way
me?
through because there's just so much going on. And again, by the time you get...
Is it just the one game? Just Spider-Man?
There's just Spider-Man, and then it has some bonus story packs as well. The DLCs that you have learned about here. And then they made a Miles Morales thing that they sold separately, which is also
And
quite
Miles
good.
Morales is part of that universe?
Yep.
Gotcha.
Yep.
Miles Morales literally starts with Peter Parker saying, "I gotta go on vacation."
You're Spider-Man
And
now. Bye.
Yeah, it's very good. I was gonna say something and I forgot.
But yeah, in the Spider-Man game...
Jace, there's a very funny gameplay like walkthrough you can watch where like a trauma doctor watches the developers play Arkham Knight, and while Batman's beating the shit out of people, the trauma doctor's like, that person with that cranial trauma laying in the street until morning is dead.
Yeah.
That person hit that way and with those bones broken would never walk again or eat with their own jaw. And like just
Right.
goes through and talks about how Batman's irreversibly ruining lives. Like the whole night.
He's murdering people. In Spider-Man, where you're like ripping car doors off and like hitting dudes with it, and the game is like, they're unconscious.
He literally takes a tricked out Joker monster, puts explosive gel on his fist, and then blows it up on his face.
Yeah.
There's
But he's fine.
no way.
He's fine. He's okay.
I am curious. Don't tell me this. I just need to get this off of my chest. Do not spoil this for me. But it just at the end, there's the classic bit with any horror type thing ever is, of course, like at the end you see like the hand pops out of the graveyard. They're still alive, and they did that with Scarecrow, and so I'm really curious to see myself if Scarecrow is going to show up in this one or maybe a later one, or if they just did that for just a cheap bit at the end. I don't know. I'm just hoping that
the game plays with you a lot in that way. Well, my favorite thing about Scarecrow is that when he shows up, the game crashes or looks like it's crashing, and like Scarecrow's thing is making people be afraid, and like a gamer's fear is their game crashing.
Right.
So when the game looks like it's crashing, it's Scarecrow fucking with you.
It was
Jason,
one of those things.
like,
I know. I literally, I was a little bummed because I had found out maybe a few hours before it happened that it was going to happen. It's totally okay.
I had no idea.
But it's totally fine. But I literally was watching it and I was like, oh, that's very cool. But the thing that got me, thank you for saying that, because the question I had was, literally, Joker holds the gun to your face and then fires it at you and kills you, right?
Uh-huh.
And I have it so that when that happens, it'll give you like a little hint. It'll be like, don't, avoid this for doing this. And it said,
don't get shot, Batman.
and when that one happened, it said, use the left toggle to dodge Joker's bullet. And I was like, oh, okay, got it this time. I don't know why I was supposed to know that. And then I click retry, and I'm in a completely different area. And it was one of those moments where I realized in that moment that they had the people that made the game used their already programmed Joker being like, I fucking beat you in a meta context. Yep. And I was like, whoa! Like,
they fucking got you, dog. They fucking got you.
It was so good, dude. Oh my god.
So
oh my god.
Wait until you get the bat tank.
Is this in 2 or 3?
In the third one, you get to drive around in a little beep beep car. Beep beep.
I was wondering if there was going to be a challenge where I like drive something or fly something. I'm really stoked about this new ability in this second one to glide off of a building and then shoot and like pull myself onto like a car. Like it's pretty freaking
rad. Now you're doing Escape from New York, so you just got this like whole city to yourself, and you just go like wee, wee,
yeah,
wee.
It's amazing. It's very.
Is it the second game that lets you dive bomb and then regain altitude?
Yeah.
Or is that Arkham?
Yeah. No, you can do that in a second.
You can like dive down and then pull back up, and he catches air and can get more speed than you can fly further.
Fly up.
Yeah. Here's how I know that you can do that.
And then, Go, Kev.
Here's how I know that you can do that in Arkham City, because I haven't played Arkham Knight. So that's how I know. Is that that's in the game. I haven't played that one yet. Maybe Jason and I will play that at the same time.
Yeah, that would be fun. Kevin, we'll play at the same time.
We'll be buddies.
We'll trade notes.
Trade notes. Hey, did you see? You see that if you punch this guy, he falls down? Did you see? Trade pro tips.
You don't. Oh, y'all have no idea. Like to have both of y'all play Arkham Knight at the same time, so that I can be part of y'all talk. That game fucks with your head so much.
The third one.
The third one. Like, yes, 1 and 2 fuck with your head. The third one's like on Fight Club / like Inception level. What the fuck is actually happening in this game?
Dude.
And it's very, 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 very good.
I'm so stoked to get to it. I'm so very excited. I don't know how many hours of gameplay. Together. Oh, we will. We will definitely play together. I don't know how many hours Arkham City is, but if the
20 to 30.
If the speed at which I went through Asylum is any indicator, I'm gonna blow through this game.
You just let me know when it's time for me to download Arkham Knight, and I will download Arkham Knight.
I will be like, it is time. It's time. Let's go. It's so wild because
if you don't send a gif of the bat signal turning on, I will find where you live and punch you in the face.
Oh, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. All right, but in the in the Facebook group chat, like, moratorium on bat signals. We cannot bat signal until it is time. Until it is time.
The moment that I beat Arkham City, I'm just, instead of being like, I beat it, I'm gonna just send a bat signal.
I'm gonna be like, all right, let me clear up some space on my PS4. All right, what game can I get rid of?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be fucking dope. This is, of course, Advanced Witcher Studies podcast where we watch the Netflix original series, The Witcher, 2 episodes at a time. And that's it.
That's all you get.
That's all you get. Sorry. I am one of your hosts, TV's Kevin Lanigan, and I am the guy that works at the witch school that makes you hot. I am the guy at witch school, the fashion designer for your fucking body who, like, makes witches hot. I love this dude. I want to know everything about this guy.
That's such a fun subplot of that. To be
love it.
It's like, oh wow, it's a very cool.
This
that was
Tom
a very cool
Petty looking dude who's like, all right, I know exactly how I'm gonna make you hot. It's so good.
Hey everybody, what's up? I'm Jace. I use they them pronouns, and yeah, I am that. What is that monster called? I don't know.
The
I am a creature
Striga.
that hopefully would be friends with The Witcher, because I'm a little cryptid. Ooh, that's me. Hi.
I'm a little scary princess. I'm a little scary princess.
I'm a scary monster princess.
Whoopsie.
I was like, for a second, I was like, what cryptid says ooh wee?
Ooh wee.
And then I realized, no, never mind.
Mr. Poopy Butthole, the ultimate cryptid. The Jersey Devil himself.
I didn't know if y'all would know who Poopy Butthole was, and I didn't want to get into that.
I've seen all of Rick and
Poopy
Morty.
Butthole?
I know about Rick and his little son Morty.
Rick and Morty.
All right, but you understand my
This
reticence.
is a Harmon and
Like,
Jason show.
Hey, we know.
This is true. I'm the third. I'm Caleb, the daddy host, the third one. I'm this podcast's dark elf. There's nothing else I got for that.
That was so fucked.
Okay. For everyone at home, Caleb can say that. It's okay.
For everyone at home, Kevin and I cannot.
I cannot. No. But all right. Let's. He says jump right into it. 30 minutes after pressing record. But let's jump right into it. Season 1, Episode 3, Betrayer Moon. Written by Alex Garcia Lopez. Or no, directed by Alex Garcia Lopez. Written by Bo DeMeo. In this episode, Geralt is recruited to handle a Striga, who turns out to be a transformed princess through a very long incest jealousy-based series of betrayals and backdoor crossings. Fun fact, this is the first Witcher story published. This was the first one that they put out. And there are some changes made in, like, adapting it from short story to TV show, but all the changes they make perfect sense when you, like, in the process of adapting something to a TV show. You know what I mean? Like, Triss is not in the short story, but they're like, no, Triss should be here, so Geralt has someone to talk to, and it might as well be an important character to the Witcher lore. So, like, fuck it, yeah.
Does Triss come back later?
Yeah, she's in the Lodge of Sorceresses. I think she's, like, graduated. I think
it's timelines are wild. These episodes are finally where I'm like, oh, okay, I'm starting to get a sense of what the timelines actually are. Like, this is where it's like, oh, okay, I'm putting it together. This is happening here. This is happening here.
This episode has a lot more hints, including, like, seeing the little kids from the old painting in real life in the Yennefer plot. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
And I was like, whoa!
Oh,
whoa!
It's them kids! Oh, they them kids! And also at the same time, Yennefer gets caught up in some political nonsense, gets outed as being a quarter elf, and decides to become hot as an act of revenge, something we should all strive to do.
The thing that had me most messed up was because they're saying like it'll take me time to repair the herbs, and she was like, "I'm doing it awake," and he was like, "You can't do it awake," and she was like, "Fucking watch me, ooh!" And then he literally ripped her uterus out. And when I saw a uterus at the end of Tongs, my brain went, "Can they do that on Netflix?"
Like,
what?
this is the most heinous fucking thing I've
Excuse me,
ever
yeah.
seen.
I was like, "This is fucking
I do
rad."
believe this is against the rules.
It's the
I
most
mean,
like
I'm like-
heavy metal fashion montage I've ever seen. Where you're like,
truly like fuck any other gore you've ever seen in anything. Watching someone get their uterus pulled out is
fuck.
intense.
Jeez.
It's very intense. And not like, I mean, like, yeah, okay, I know people that have had their uterus removed, right? You know, what's up? How
For
you
sure.
doing, trans folks? Or other people with other situations going on down under. Whatever. The whole thing is, you don't usually see a fully formed prosthetic uterus.
Jesus. I mean,
I've never in my
jeez.
life seen that.
It's the thing from the book, but on the outside.
Well, it's three-dimensional.
no. That's
Also
what's
tolling to your Witcher.
Oh, this is so fucked up. Let's see. Okay, we're already deep into Yennefer stuff, so I guess let's keep diving along
Oh my
that
god,
path.
Yennefer. I am obsessed. Yennefer.
To open
Told you
her
so.
this episode for her of like her fucking the really hot guy whose name refuses to stay in my head. But to open up with her conjuring
Istrid. It's
That's
Istrid.
it.
Thank you, Caleb.
And opening up with her conjuring an audience to applaud when he nuts is
I was so confused as to what was happening. I was like, okay, time has passed from the last time we checked in with them. And I was like, has their relationship been like sort of approved? And now there's some sort of like religious
the
or like
sex council
or like governmental like approval. It's like, I was like, what is happening? Who are these people? What is their significance? Then they start clapping, and I was like, oh, it's definitely one of those things where it's like I'm immediately thinking of fucking Midsommar, right? Like, you know what I mean? Like where they watch you have sex, and then literally, and then they're clapping, and I'm like, okay, still very Midsommar. And then he says some line about like, and then they disappear, and I was like, oh, she wanted to be watched by a bunch of old people. Okay.
all right, Yen.
Was it some kind of like
just
ritual
captivated.
where they were making sure that like a thing happened?
I
No.
don't know.
She was just conjuring an
first I thought that's what
illusion.
it was. But then she was like, no, I just like to be watched. I'm very voyeuristic.
Yeah, hey, they're expressing some kink. It seems like there's been a passage of time here, and spice things up a little bit. So I say go for it.
Okay.
I say go for it. Yennefer, you live your best life.
Live your best fucking life.
Live your best fucking life, girl. You've had it hard.
What is it? But also then later on we get some amazing, like this relationship dynamic is really cool. They get into that fight later on about how like they've been spying on each other, right?
Mm-hmm.
And she's like really upset with him because you're trying to be the hero, and she's basically being like, you do not understand what it means to be me, right? Like fundamentally being a woman in this world, being a quarter elf in this world, having a hunchback in this world, we are not experiencing the same levels of stuff. So like you getting upset at me for surviving, I don't give a shit. And like you spied on me, and he's like, oh, you're telling me you didn't spy on me? And then there's the moment at the end that had me fucked up, because it's the first time I've seen, in a good way, it's the first time I've seen someone respond to like the whole like being a victim doesn't look good on you, that whole thing. And when he says being a victim doesn't look good on you, and she turns around and says something like being a hero doesn't look good on you, and I was just like, oh fuck, like this is amazing. Oh, it was so good. It was like one of those moments where it's like, that kind of writing moment is something I crave so deeply, of just being like, someone turning a moment of reckoning with what they deal with into victim blaming, and like putting the victim label on her, even though she wasn't acting as a victim, she was and then being able to say, no, fuck you and your hero complex. It was just, I was like, oh, this is so great. Another moment where it's very clearly this creative team was not just a bunch of dudes. And I was like, this is rad. I am so very excited. It's been a minute since I've been this captivated in a show. Back to incest, though. Is it like a requirement for fantasy shows to have incest now?
You got to do it at some point, and it feels
ages worked.
Yeah, I was about to say, like,
there's some sort of
royalty
background for this decision. Like, why?
Yeah, I know. Like, the Habsburgs, you know, it was a whole thing. And even, like, outside of those freaks, you know, incest seems to just be a part of royalty. And that is...
Yes, I mean, there is incest in royalty, like...
Usually not brother-sister.
Like, but it's usually, like, cousins, and they're like, yeah, we'll bend it. But they were, like... We've had, what was it? It was twins in Game of Thrones? Not that I've ever fucking really watched it.
Yeah.
But, like,
yeah.
What is it with them being like, let's take royal brothers and sisters who are deeply in love with each other? It's just...
Medieval royals were fucking nasty. They were freaks. I don't know what to tell you. They were little fucking freaks. They were little nasty bees.
I want to point out when we first talked about Witcher on this podcast, when it was still ostensibly a community podcast, it was never only a community podcast, let's be honest. Anyway, when we first talked about Witcher, Kevin and I could not stop talking about how much we liked it, and Jace was like, I couldn't get past the first episode. And we were like, just watch the second one.
Just watch the second one. Not even like...
It literally changed everything.
Yeah, exactly.
Because Kevin and I are both like, because you'll meet a character who you will absolutely fuck with. And now hearing Jace be like, Yennefer, fucking, yup. It's like, yeah, exactly.
It does feel good when you recommend something and you're, like, completely right. It feels good.
Yeah, exactly.
Y'all nailed it.
I told you so.
It was one of those things. You did tell me so. You did tell me solely, thusly, if you will. The thing that was wild though was it was a combination. It was a 1-2 punch, both from you two. It was watch the second episode. I did. And then it was like, okay, we're doing the podcast thing. I rewatched them, and I was like, oh, I actually fully know what's going on. And then you letting on that it was a nonlinear storytelling device and that these are 3 separate storylines. And that did it. That did it for me 3-6. I was like, oh, shit. And then, like, I'm in. So I'm like, I'm in. Like, literally.
To quote a phrase I coined in the 90s, I'm going in.
Going in. But literally, it was wild because then, like, coming into episode 3, I was like, I'm excited for this. I'm genuinely stoked to watch this. And then I found myself sitting just, like, in awe. Just like, what? What? Like, just in awe. Just, like, glued. Like, I haven't been this, like, captivated by a show in a minute. It's really exciting. But also, it toes that line of it's, like, because high fantasy stuff is tricky because there's a lot of names, there's a lot of places you got to learn, and there's political dynamics that you have to understand, and they talk about. I think I don't want to get too far ahead of myself. I don't remember which episode this is in because I watched it back to back, like they were the same episode. Yeah. Where there's the law of surprise. I think that's in the second one.
That's in the second one. I'll get into how that works.
We'll get into that, but like that dynamic is also present in like all the episodes of like there's certain political things, and I feel like every time I go, oh, I don't know this, I always end up going, okay, I actually kind of think I know what's going on. Like it does a good job of making it feel real and lofty and large and like cohesive. Yeah. Without making it inaccessible, which is a big issue I find with it.
Yeah,
it's Law of Surprise is such an interesting plot point in this show because, like, there's times where I don't want to talk about it almost because I don't want to spoil it.
Well, we can talk about it when it happens.
Outright.
Yeah,
I won't spoil it outright, but like, this show's very good at talking about things as if they're only important right now. And this show's also
but there was like, oh my god, okay,
coming back later and being like, remember that thing we said that you thought was unimportant? It was actually super important.
Yeah,
and I love that.
I mean, the way that they even, I'm getting ahead of myself again. We can come back to it when we get to episode 4. But literally, like, introduced Law of Surprise, and I was like, I don't understand how this works. I'm a little confused. What's going on? And then it comes up a second time in the episode in response to what like just happened, like the whole Destiny thing, and then you're like, okay, I now understand what Law of Surprise is, and I understand the connection from this timeline to the other timeline. And I was just like, oh, fuck!
Yep.
I literally out loud went, oh.
And it feels good. It feels good because they give you just enough that you can figure it out, but I never feel like this show is sitting down and being like, let me explain this to you.
Yeah, it
which
doesn't
like
feel deliberate.
which makes it feel so much more gratifying. It sounds the example I'm going
you feel involved. It's immersive in that way.
Yes,
You
the
don't-
example
you don't-
I'm going
you
to
feel like
use
it's-
doesn't
you-
immediately make sense, but follow me here. I watched Cool
Okay.
Hand Luke over the weekend.
Welcome to the podcast where we start anecdotes that sound like
Right,
they have no
but
reason
it's-
to be brought up, and
yeah.
then eventually do.
But instead of using like another fantasy show where like Lord of the Rings is very much like, let me give you the basics at the beginning. But like Cool Hand Luke doesn't immediately
Literally
give
never
you...
heard of that.
Oh, it's a Paul Newman movie? Cool Hand Luke, you've never... Oh, anyway, it's on Netflix. It was going to be my
I'll check
recommendation
it out.
at the end of the episode, and now it's something I'm talking about in the middle of the episode. But there was a way we made things in the 60s and 70s where they give you like just enough string that you can follow, but you, the audience member, always have to kind of be like filling in blanks of like, okay, the motivation feels this, but no one's going to sit there and tell me a monologue about their motivation, right? And it's like, they have the little spool of thread, and you're gonna get to the end, and it's gonna be rewarding, but they're only gonna give you just enough to keep like following along, because that keeps your viewer brain active, because you
Right.
are, you know, there are movies that I like that explain everything to you. Like fucking Inception. Like, that movie works because they spend an hour explaining the movie, and then they spend the last hour paying off everything they explained, right? Whereas, like, this show, I think, is like, no, follow us. Like, pay attention, you'll figure it out, just keep going, and it keeps your fucking viewer brain from, like, atrophying, and, like, and not pay, and keeps it from, like, sliding off of you, because you
You
always
hit the
have to
denouement
be...
and you pass out. Yeah.
Right.
I've been there.
Exactly. It keeps you glued, because you're like, I am putting the pieces together myself. I am part of like making this work. And the show's very good at that. Very, very good at that.
Yeah, it's also very. It's like there are a couple. Like, I'm gonna just repeat what Kev said, but just the way it happened in my brain. It's very much to me the difference between a story that starts with the conceit of "let me tell you a story," or
Right.
a story that starts with the conceit of you've just accidentally found yourself into this room, and there's something going on, and we're just going to follow it.
Right. It's like it's two framings of the stories. You've got like a frame story where you got like it's like Singing in the Rain, right? You pull up, they pull up out at the movie premiere, and then they goes like, "Tell us, how did you meet?" And he goes, "Well, it's a long story,
Yeah.
you see." And then
Peter
there's a
Falk
flashback
gets
to
out the
most of
book
movie.
for Princess Bride and is like, let me tell you the
exactly.
story of the Princess
And
Bride.
it's a frame story.
Yeah.
So
And I love
but then
that.
you've got
Yeah,
other
it's
stuff.
good.
Those are great if they work, if they're done right. But then you've
Exactly.
also got like an in medias res. I'm saying that a
Yeah.
little funny. Everybody says it differently.
It's Latin. Nobody knows how to say it.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
exactly.
Go off.
So the idea is that then at a certain point you're just like it's the idea of you're dropped in the middle of things as they're happening, and you just kind of figure it out. And
Lord of
that's
the
a really
Rings is very
exciting
much
device.
Yeah. Lord of the Rings to me is very much Gandalf saying, "Let me tell you a story." And The Witcher is very much, I shouldn't be in this fucking room right now.
I'm
But I'm gonna
intruding
watch.
on someone's like,
Right,
private
right.
business. Feels like this is a private moment for Yennefer where she's getting her uterus pulled out and there's fire everywhere. Like, it doesn't feel like I should be here.
Her body is like
Or the moment where
like
you
cracking.
feel like it's weird that a bunch of people are watching them fuck, and then you realize that you are watching them fuck, and you feel just as weird. And
Wait
you're
a
like,
minute.
oh,
I am I'm the creep in this situation.
I am the truest repairman.
But yeah, so that's
Yeah, I
it's
love
just
it.
something the show is uniquely good at. And then I am also here after episode wraps to be like, okay, let me explain this to you, just so you're like 100% clear. And I also
we're saying a metaphor.
Exactly. And another something we've talked about we like about this dang show is their use of practical effects, which is something they use uniquely well in the Geralt storyline of this episode, where the fucking monster is cool as shit, and it's pretty much all practical with like some CGI shots or like enhancements, but the Striga rules and is scary as hell. I hate it.
Forgive me.
But it works really good.
That tail is done in CG.
For 100%. 100.
Forgive me, because I haven't been able to rewatch them as y'all are, because Amanda does not like watching things over again, and we spend every minute together because, baby. But
understood.
Which one's the Striga?
The Striga is the incest baby of the royals who was cursed because the actual lover of the queen wasn't allowed to be with her and didn't like the king, so we put a curse on her.
The Lubberkin.
The thing that they thought it was.
No, you're thinking of something from Witcher 3, the video game.
But it's like the same thing. Right? The Lubberkin in the game was like a kid that wasn't loved and turned into a monster. And this is like... Yeah. This is the thing I talked about last episode, right? The demon fetus.
It is a demon fetus.
It is a demon fetus. Yeah, it is no longer a fetus. It is now a full being.
It's an adult. It's an adult monster.
It's an adult fetus.
It's an elitist fetus.
Hate.
Boo.
Elitist. Hang on. Forgive me for this crime I'm about to commit. Forgive me for this crime I'm about to commit. But if fetus were a Pokemon, this is Fetus Elitist, the evolved form of the Pokemon.
This is the third evolution of this is Blastoise. If a Lubberkin is Squirtle, then this is the Blastoise. Yes. But it's a Striga. It's not a fantasy monster I've encountered anywhere else. So it's either like made up for this or very Polish.
I have a feeling because they also the way that they start the episode is they don't realize it's a Striga because they're like, I thought those were a myth, and he's like, they're very rare. But then like it starts off with the miners think it's what I can only assume by the way that they describe it as essentially an equivalent to a werewolf. Yeah. But the backstory of how werewolves are made is very different than any I've ever heard. Although werewolf backstories are also wide and varied, and I remember being like, I wonder if this is just like a Polish interpretation of werewolf.
This is one of those shows that is really cool because it shows you how all of our fairy tales and fables are fucking bastardized. Because like the Germanic, like that area, the Germanic, the Polish, the Eastern European style of fairy tale is not Disney Hans Christian Andersen fairy.
Oh my god, the Grimm's fairy tales are dark.
Fucked up.
Yeah,
Germany was not a great place to live when the Grimm brothers.
They cut her damn feet. They cut their toes off.
Her sisters cut their toes off to fit her shoe. Yeah, so like the Germanic tribes and like the people that came from them have this very like, let's scare kids straight mentality, and like American kids were like, let's tell them Santa Claus is real, and like it's very fun to interact with fiction that's based in those fantasies because everyone's like, these are so dark. And like, as someone who took German in high school and whose German teacher showed us all of these things, I'm like, oh yeah, this is how this works over there. Everything's dark and fucked up. It's great.
Wild. It's very cool. No, I think actually both of these episodes have some exceptional prosthetic work.
Oh yeah, with the fucking porcupine guy. Yeah,
the porcupine guy is stunning.
He looks great.
But like I'm a huge prosthetics geek. Like I love prosthetic makeup specifically. Like Face Off on Sci-Fi is one of my favorite reality shows ever.
Great show.
And literally, this was easily one of the most impressive makeups I may have ever seen. It just down to the I'm getting ahead of myself again just because I don't know why. Episode 4 did a lot for me, I guess. It really was wild, but just the upturned nose and the way that oh my goodness, I got so caught up in just staring at him that I actually had to rewind to go, wait, what's happening right now?
Wait, hold on, what did he say? Because I was just like
People
impressed
just
by
spoke
the
words. I was
porcupine
just
man.
in awe. Right.
Yeah, absolutely. And
it's Porcupine Man was like, my eyes are here.
Oh, yes? I'm sorry, someone else was speaking? I was looking at the porcupine man, you see.
Sorry, I was staring at your nose.
It looks like a little fucking porcupine nose. But they did an exceptional job. And if you compare it to like fucking the guy in X-Men 3 The Last Stand that has like the same quills, you're like, oh, it's night and fucking day. Compared to what like
Let's
a
not talk
Hollywood
about
movie.
the original X-Men trilogy.
What?
Yeah.
I said, let's not talk about the original X-Men trilogy. I tried when Amanda and I were dating to like get her into the things I was into, and like that's the thing that people do in relationships. They normally don't have to do because like Amanda likes Marvel movies just fine, but I was like, we should watch the original X-Men one day. And like 30 minutes in, I was like, I've made a terrible mistake.
Oh, those movies are fucking wild compared to like what we're dealing with now.
They're so bad.
They're buck wild, and it's
slow, and they're stupid.
It's amazing that like
pacing
two
is
X-Men movies were directed by non-bastards. It's like incredible that like the rest of the directorial crew are fucking bastards. But James Mangold seems pretty okay. Bryan Singer and Brett Ratner.
The first two were James Mangold.
No, the first two were Bryan Singer, who is a bastard among bastards. Yeah, I was like compared to other bastards, he's bad.
I don't even know who that is.
James Mangold's okay though.
Yeah, James Mangold seems okay.
It's because Bryan Singer's only done X-Men, really.
Well, the usual suspects, anyone. The usual suspects, anyone.
Sure.
Superman Returns. Jack the Giant Killer, anyone. Let's okay. Back to The Witcher. Back where the good people
Wait,
live.
okay. Last thing before we go back, because we did bring up X-Men, and there was a recent announcement by Feige about Deadpool officially and irrefutably being R-rated and canonically MCU. Very exciting. I saw one theory that said they think Deadpool might actually be the in to X-Men.
Makes perfect sense. Makes perfect sense.
Because he's in this new room and he's like, wait, where the hell are the other mutants? I can't be the only one. Yeah. And then he goes around and assembles them or something.
I think if they were smart, they would have like a scene where he's about to fall into the MCU, but he like grabs Negasonic Teenage Warhead. You know what I mean? Just like takes that one. Just takes the
right,
one.
Either Negasonic Teenage Warhead or Domino.
Oh no, you got to take Domino. I'm sorry, we talked about this. You got to take Domino. Those three are in a car and they fall into our world.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I feel like they're also gonna bring a couple of his buddies too. I'm intrigued on how they're gonna get this to. Who knows? We're about to get so much multiverse content.
Yes.
I can't wait for Juggernaut to show up in an Avengers movie.
I can't wait.
It's gonna be.
Do you know Juggernaut's voiced by Ryan Reynolds?
Yeah, I did know that.
Yeah.
I found that out like recently, and it blew my mind for some reason.
And I think
fairly recent as well.
It's kind of cool, but like also, isn't there some like voice actor somewhere who like needed the paycheck
Not
a little
with their
more than
budget,
Ryan
no?
Reynolds? Right? What? You don't have fucking whatever you paid Ryan, you can't pay Maurice LaMarche. Like you can't like what? I'm sorry.
I'm looking for voice work. Ryan Reynolds, please.
Yeah, Ryan. If you got Travis Willingham is cool, but like Caleb's right here and cheaper
Caleb
than Travis
will be your
Willingham.
Juggernaut daddy.
Yeah, exactly.
I already am.
Yeah.
Ooh.
That's what I say when I wake up. I'm Juggernaut, bitch.
Oh my God.
And that's the way
Remember
it be.
when Bryan Singer thought that was what Juggernaut said?
That was Brett Ratner, you fool.
Oh,
wait, that's not what doesn't the Juggernaut say? I'm the Juggernaut, bitch.
In a YouTube video, and they're like, "Oh, let's make that canon. Let's
make that canon and like the only thing he says that's of note."
It's like if
I'm talking in the movie. He says it though, right?
In X-Men 3, yes.
And that's not something from the comics. That was a joke online, and they were took it. Right? No, I didn't think it was from the comics, but I for some reason thought you were saying that he didn't say that in the movie, and I'm like, am I?
No,
crazy?
He does say it in the movie, but that's not like as someone that has 5 issues of the Juggernaut solo series right off camera. That's not like his thing. He doesn't like say bitch.
Speaking of what's on camera, I like that Kev is nestled right in
the crotch of Geralt.
In Henry Cavill's bathing crotch. I could only be so lucky.
It checks out.
I think it checks out. Hold on, I'll peek down a little bit in the frame so you can get a nice view of Henry Cavill bathing, which is a great translation to our next episode, season 1, episode 4.
He does bathe.
He does bathe. I don't think it's the only time he does. Either.
No, you've talked about how bathing is like a big thing in this universe.
It's a big thing. Geralt taking baths is a big part of the Witcher universe. Of Banquets, Bastards, and Burials. Again, directed by Alex Garcia Lopez, written by Declan DeBarra. In this episode, Jaskier and Geralt go to a fancy party, and it turns into a very convoluted royal story of destiny that helps plant exactly where we are in the timeline of things. And at the same time, Yennefer has been at royal court for 30 years and is pretty sick of it. And then an assassin attacks, and it's no good. It's no good. It's very bad. Nothing good comes of the events of that cool assassin with his big bug attacking Yennefer's
That's a cool bug.
That's a cool bug, though.
That's also a great element. We were talking about the integration of digital effects and practical effects, and that bug is digital.
He digital as fuck,
cool.
But he looks cool.
He looks great. That's also a really intimidating assassin. I feel like I know that actor from somewhere, but I also don't think he says a word.
No, I would bet that he's a stunt actor, and so you've probably seen him as bad guy number 4 in 3,000 Things. Right. I don't have any.
There's a guy in Hollywood. It's a bigger dude who's bald, who always has like a twisted out mustache, and he's in The Accountant. He's in, I think, 2 John Wicks, which makes no sense because he definitely dies both times.
Twin brother.
He's in so many things, and every time I see him, I'm like, "Oh, what's up, Twisty?" Like every time.
Yo, what up, man?
Every time, I'm like, "Is that motherfucker?" Before we move on completely,
sure.
Because I think I've neglected to say how much I love Mousic.
Oh well, this is we're right here. This is Mousic time because we're
Mousic, at the. I love Mousic so much.
I'm excited to learn more about him.
He's
I'm like,
super
I want to
cool
know
guy.
how Geralt and Mousic knew each other. I'm like, where was this?
I
want
haven't
to know
seen
this
you
story.
since the plague.
Yeah.
Oh, what a beautiful man. I think a very handsome man. I know he's an actor, but like I think it must be said that like even in a scene with like Henry Cavill and Jaskier, he's a good-looking devil.
Yeah, it's not hard to look at, that's for sure.
Adam Levy.
He's a very
or
interesting
Levy.
character.
Yeah.
I think especially because they spend so much time building up Geralt as someone that doesn't really have long-term friends. Like, this is in direct juxtaposition to the Bard, who forces himself to be friends with Geralt. And Geralt's just like, I'm tolerating you almost. And he goes to this thing, and the Bard, does he have a name? He's just the Bard. The Bard.
His name is Jaskier.
Jaskier.
And in certain translations, like the book and the game, his name is Dandelion. But in this translation, they went with Jaskier. And there's a few characters that have slightly different names depending on which version of the translation. Like Mousic is also called Ermion. I don't know how those things are the same.
Unless Ermion's his first name and Mousic is his last name.
That could be true.
Or vice versa, because they seem to be on first name basis. He seems to be on first name basis.
True. But yeah,
with here.
That's why that whole moment is so exciting to me, because you're seeing like Jaskier, right, being like, I'm your friend. He's like, no, you're not. And then shows up, and while he's like, I'm strolling up to this party with a witcher, no one can touch me, and he goes, all right, deuces, I'm gonna go hang out with my real friend, even though I didn't even want to come to this party. It's like a really cool character dynamic, especially after we've just seen people kind of being rude in the previous episode to Geralt about how it's like, you don't have friends, you don't have, and even before that, while he's bathing, talking about like, I don't need anything. I don't want anybody in my life. I don't need other people in my life.
Classic
And then to
bad
see
boy.
he actually does, but he actually does have other people in his life, and it's very much like you start to see like this. It's the myth we had talked about this last episode. The idea that witchers don't feel. We start to realize this has been mythicized. This
It's
is
the
not
biggest
actually
lie.
true.
Yeah, in the entire, like, Witcher. It's a lie within the universe, which is, like, a detail of this world that I appreciate, is that, like, there is misinformation within the fantasy world. Like, not everyone is on the same page about
You're
everything.
saying that this world has false stereotypes?
Exactly. It has false
Yeah.
stereotypes.
I also love that, like, as much as the rumor is a thing, and we talked about this last episode, I love that, like, that rumor exists, and Geralt doesn't do anything to dispel it, and in fact tries really hard to prove it's true, which is like, it's
Right.
like, it makes sense that the Witchers would allow this to maintain relevance in the understanding of Witchers, because, like, if you think about it, they're hired hands that kill
Right.
monsters,
Yeah.
that, like, often can die, but also more often don't die and live way longer. So, like, it's in their best interest almost to not have many friends, because all their friends will get old and die. And also,
Right.
it's in their best interest to not have friends, because they'll inevitably endanger them by being involved in what Witchers are generally involved in. And so, like, it's the trope that you get out of, like, super spy TV and movies, where they're like,
Exactly.
you can't be near me, you'll just be in danger, or
Spider-Man.
I don't have
Spider-Man
Early
is good.
Spider-Man.
Yeah.
The best comparison that I've found to the exact dynamic of Geralt is Wolverine. The, like,
Yes.
tough, gruff, I will fucking fight anyone and take them down guy who seems at first like he's crusty and doesn't care about anyone, but he will be the first person to, like, jump in line for the people he cares about. He's like, this is my lover, these are my friends, this is my mentee, and I will fucking kill you if you come anywhere near them. It's like, it's what I love about both of these characters, right? These incredibly gruff men with these very tender, insidey parts.
Yeah, and in a lesser sense, he's very Han Solo as well.
No, for sure. But
What
Geralt
is the-
cares
Which is
more.
why I love Han Solo.
That's true.
What's
The
the
puckish rogue.
Yes,
the
indeed.
puckish rogue? What's the name of the name that he says in his sleep from episode 1?
Renfrey.
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 That's a really exciting thing to think about and analyze through what we're talking about right now. The idea of him, when he sleeps, he thinks of her.
Right.
This is a person
this
that
is
he-
someone that haunts him. You know, like
Haunts him.
the loss
He
of her,
cares
the
about this
affection
person.
he cared about. Exactly. Sorry, I interrupted you.
And no, but that's that's a much better word than the word I was going to even use. She haunts him, and that is in direct opposition with any sort of interpretation of any sort of the idea of a character not having feelings. That doesn't happen if you didn't either love this person, feel remorse about this person, care about this in any way. And it's so exciting too that we see a moment where that side of him, I almost said that human side of him, but I feel like that doesn't mean anything. But like the side of him where he has these feelings is he's betrayed by it. She's like, "Who's Renfrey?" And he's like, "What?" And he gets really
Yeah,
nervous. He
recoils,
gets like really
oh.
caught off, and then he's like holding his head like, "I can't believe I said that in my sleep." And he never addresses it though. But you see this guilt and this shame too. Not shame, because I don't think he feels shame for feeling things. I think he, like you're saying, Caleb, he realizes it is so beneficial for him to maintain that guise, that facade, that he realizes that this could get dangerous if he doesn't cover for it.
But just like any good writer would do, it eventually will bite him in the ass. Like as hard as he tries to act like he
Ooh, I'm
doesn't
excited.
care, it's going to bite him in the fucking ass.
Yeah, and
That's great.
the first person we
great.
see, because Jace, you see the Yaskier relationship is very like oppositional, and I'm also like colored by what I know about this universe. Is that like this is the I hate everyone but you trope that you see a lot in like fiction romance, like the outsider that hates the world, but like this one person just knows how to like get to the heart of them. And I do think that like a lot of his opposition, like he is annoyed by Yaskier, but he's also like,
Oh, definitely.
this person does seem to care about me, and I do care about this weird bard.
The dynamic of him, like,
around.
even saying that he will, like, if Geralt truly, truly did not want to go to that party, he wouldn't have fucking gone.
Go. Yeah, exactly.
He wouldn't have gone. And there's the whole conversation he has with the lioness about how, like, she's like, well, you're here as his personal bodyguard. And he's like, I'm not going to do that for you. He's like, I'm not doing that for you. And he's like, I don't do that. And she's like, you clearly do. It's very clear that he does care about this person. He thinks he's annoying as fuck. It's like it's the best.
Don't we all have people like that in our lives, though?
Ramified version of like a brotherly rivalry thing that I've ever seen.
Exactly. Like this is my little brother.
Also, Jaskier is good for business.
For sure.
He
tells the tale.
Yes,
People
there is a utilitarian reason for keeping him.
I don't know if it's happened already, but there's a moment where somebody asks if he's done something. And Geralt's like, why did you say I did that? I didn't. And he's like, but you got a job out of it. And he's like, don't do that. It's perfect.
Literally at the wedding, what turns out to be a wedding, at the party, where he says, like, no, I didn't beat this guy up. And they're like, that's not what the song said. And he's just like, boop.
Yeah. It's actually,
that's him willingly being like, well, I guess it doesn't hurt for people to think that I beat the shit out of one more person.
Right. Exactly.
I think the other thing that's really cool, though, is I think it's his introduction in this episode is awesome. Because is Yvier, is that his name?
What'd you say? Yaskier.
Yaskier?
I don't know what's wrong with me. Yaskier, this guy is like giggling as this horrifying story is being told, and he's like, sorry, I just never get these details. You know, and
my boyfriend doesn't tell me anything.
Yeah, and they're all exactly, and they're all mortified because he's like, but he's dead. He's like, you swallowed him whole. He's dead, and he just goes, no, he's not. And they're like, oh, what? He's like, he's not dead. And he goes, anyway, go on. And he says that, and then he just bursts in. They're like, why do you smell so bad? And it's like, it's the monster's guts. Oh, it's just like a great entrance of just like, he's not dead. You think he's dead? He's not dead.
He's not dead.
Like,
Don't
bursts through the door, and he's like
the guts all over him.
It's early in the morning, so it's chilly outside. So he's like steaming from the guts.
It's really good.
It's really cool.
It's really good shit. What we're talking about, all this shit is added to this short story for the show. Like, the short story that this episode is based on, Yaskier is not in it. Mousak is a stranger that Geralt is meeting for the first time. Like, the show is consciously adding in both Geralt's history with the world and setting up like the familial relationships that he will share with like our main cast, which makes perfect sense when you're like translating this into a narrative television show, right? That you want to build out the supporting cast, you want to deepen these relationships and these actor dynamics a little bit, but all of that is added to this story for this episode, and I think it works really well. It's very, very effective in what they're trying to do.
Not reading the books, it's an incredibly effective way that they build these relationships, and I think that's the other thing that is so exciting to me about this show. Is just like, these are some really cool relationship dynamics, you know. And I mean, like, some of it is informed by this style of show, right? It's royalty and the peasants and all that stuff, and that goes so far. But so much of that, it's like we know it. It's been done for years and years and years and years. We know so many variations on this theme. But these characters, there's something really fresh and new and personable about these characters and their dynamics. Yeah.
Right.
It's very exciting.
A great adaptation of old tropes. Like, Geralt could have, like, if this was not a Polish story but a Japanese one, Toshiro Mifune could have played fucking Geralt decades ago, and it would have been essentially the same person. But it's like these actors in these worlds, new spins on old archetypes, and it works very, very well.
It's weird that this is so similar in its use of redefining the old with Mandalorian. The loner that's fabled. You know what I mean? Like, there's a reason that we like this shit right now. And I'm always fascinated by, like, oh, God, why can't I not make a point without starting a whole separate thing? I love interacting with fiction in how it changes based on, like, anthropological interests. Like, the fact that, like, in horror we had monsters that were, and monsters and villains, not just horror. Monsters and villains mirror our fears.
Yeah.
So, like, in the 80s, they were, like, big monsters that, like, would hide from us. So, like, they were the analog of nuclear proliferation. And then in the 2000s, since 9/11, bad guys are generally terrorists who just want to see chaos. And, like, before, you know what I mean? Like, seeing all these things change. Like vampires being the moneyed, wealthy elite who are leeching life from the younger to prolong themselves and gain wealth.
It's and then, like, vampires versus the Bronx. They do it as, like, a gentrifier metaphor. Really cool stuff.
Yeah. And like that metaphor transforming from our vampire craze in, like, the 90s, early 2000s to our zombie craze from the 2000s to kind of now, which is, like, our fear that people are just huddled masses shambling through life, not paying attention to anything but things that feed their hunger for more.
I mean, also, like, the zombie metaphor as, I'm obsessed with that concept. What you're talking about is something that I am intimately familiar with and super excited by. Like, even down to, like, The Ring, which is fully a commentary on how people are watching too much TV, right? Like, literally, like, that's just what it is. But also, and it's so wild that you're talking about, like, the zombie craze that happened a few years back, pairing up with what we're currently dealing with, which is a pandemic, which is straight up, like, fundamentally, like, the CDC themselves has used zombies as a metaphor for the purpose of education in regards to spreading of diseases and stuff like that. And
so be prepared in the future to see that, like, zombie thing that we've got right now. Be prepared to see that evolve into, like, world-ending disease films. We're gonna get a lot.
Culture is cyclical, and it always goes. You know, vampires will come back around. Werewolves will come back. Like, it all comes. Social horror
Ninjas
comes back
will come
around.
back around.
Yeah, it always it moves in these waves and these cycles, and it just depends on what we're collectively feeling at the moment,
right?
Whether intentional or no.
To point to that, in the moment, right now, it seems like the most prevalent trope we're running with is the, like, one-man wrecking ball loner story. We've got Logan, the John Wick movies, the Jack Reacher movies. Jason Bourne started it in the early 2000s and, like, kind of set the cobblestones for it. But you got Jack Reacher, Jason Bourne, Mandalorian, Logan, Geralt. Like, there's a thing right now about, like, being a lone wolf and being able to pull it off, which I don't think is not completely divorced from the idea of the American dream. And the interesting thing about all of these things, in talking about being a self-made man who's a loner, who does things alone, being an allegory for this American dream, which I have in huge quotation marks and, like, 3 asterisks.
Yeah. Right.
Is that
right.
And which is, and I like this about.
I'm glad you said that, because I was like, this is starting to sound like propaganda. Which, I mean, let's be honest.
Wait till I get to the dismount, because I'm going to get there. Like, the interesting thing about all of these things about the American dream, asterisk, is that by the end you find out that by being a loner, they almost fucking ruined everything, almost all the time. Like, Jason Bourne ends up working with people and doing better. Jack Reacher ends up working with some of his friends and doing better. The Equalizer. John Wick hangs out with Halle Berry and her dogs, and it's fucking great. Mandalorian now has a fucking crew he runs around with, and it's so much better. And, like, it's interesting that, like, all of this fiction is moving towards that idea of, like, yeah, you might think that the way to do it is alone, and that's the American dream. But the reality is, that doesn't fucking work.
We're all in this together, man. Collectivism. Let's fucking go.
And with that, I have to jump. Baby's being squirmy, but I've made my big point. And my batteries are all my batteries are dying. My phone battery, my AirPod battery. It's time to go, guys.
That's a
It's
sign.
time to go.
Take care of that baby.
Yes. But yeah, I'll be back next week when we talk about episodes 5 and 6.
Wow.
Yes.
Trucking along.
Just burning right through it, trucking right through it.
Yeah.
Y'all take it easy. I love y'all to death. Everybody
Love you.
listening,
Bye.
keep listening. And over the next week and a half, be fucking safe because the world's gonna get spicy.
Oh God.
Christ.
Bye.
Bye.
What a fucking
Sorry
note to
about that
leave us
energy.
with.
What a sign out.
Bye.
Bye. Yish gabish.
Wowee.
Wowie. So
Yeah.
do you feel like you are clear on the law of surprise? Do you feel
Yes,
like
I
you
do
have
now.
an idea of what it is? Do
I
you
do
do you
now.
want
I
to
feel the
attempt
law
to
of
explain
surprise.
it?
I'm going to go ahead and try and do it. Yeah. So the law of surprise, from my understanding, is currently that if you save someone's life and they're saying, how can I repay you? Right? You can say, I don't know, get me back later. Right? And basically, law of surprise is get me back later, but like with, but like, well, like with whatever it is, like with what you have in the future that you don't know you have yet, right? So whether it's if you all of a sudden become really successful and say like your crops start growing really intensely, be like, just give me a shit ton of those crops, or like give me that land or whatever, right? In these circumstances, twice over, it was, shit, give me your fucking baby.
She's preggers.
Right? Is that
Yeah,
seem...
no, you got it. You got it basically right. Yeah, it's this idea of like whenever you return home, that which you have, which you did not know you had already,
Right.
will be mine not through greed. It is now ordained by destiny. There are just these certain rules that bind this universe. These like,
Gotcha.
I describe them as romantic, not in the like, person to person
Not like love, but romantic is in the art style.
Yeah, romantic as in like the larger ideas
Heroes
that we
and-
cannot imagine. Exactly.
The entire idea, speaking of going back to what Caleb was saying, the entire idea of like a lone hero is romanticism.
Exactly. Yes, romance in that illustrative way,
Mm-hmm.
not in the romantic love, quote unquote. But these
Right.
like romantic ideas of like there are these larger destiny forces, and you can attempt to push back against them, but it is always bad to try and push back against destiny. It's gonna happen no matter what.
Right.
Chosen whether or not through your own action, you this is now a part of your life and a part of who you are. These destinic forces, and it's
Right.
what guided Urchin to Pavetta, and it's what
Duty.
will eventually guide Ciri and Geralt together. Like, spoilers for The Witcher, these characters
What?
are gonna come together.
I mean, it's in the first episode. It's literally spelled out.
Yeah,
for you.
they say go find Geralt, and this is why.
It is go find Geralt. It is your destiny.
Yeah, exactly. And this
like-
is the explanation of that destiny.
I think for me, the only question I was left with
Yes.
was, did we get the story of how Dooney got cursed?
No. And it's
No,
not...
so we don't know how Dooney got cursed. We just know that the fulfillment of a destiny was enough to reverse whatever curse he previously had.
Exactly. Was enough to annul this. It unfolds a little differently in the story and in the TV show, but essentially, like, the weight has been lifted off of you. Like, the resistance of destiny with Pavetta up till this point is kind of implied to be what turned him into a porcupine. It's like truly...
So they're implying that their forbidden love is what cursed him.
Is what cursed. Exactly. Like, it's that aspect of it, and now he is uncursed and handsome and free. And that can continue to be.
Gotcha. That does seem a bit vague. I kind of want to believe that there is some other story that goes on in the background. Just
To
because
my knowledge, there isn't. But
Gotcha. Well, that's a bummer.
I don't want to
because the
set
thing
you up
that
for
makes it-
disappointment.
I mean, also it's like, who knows what's truly canon? It's implied, but it's not like spelled out. But like the idea of like so many of these monsters we see like they're cursed, and we like know how they were cursed. Like cursing someone takes time. It's a process. You have to do things to curse someone. I like to think that there's an entire world and story about Dooney.
Oh, yeah. I mean, all of these. I mean, Dooney's not gone. Don't forget about Dooney.
Sick. Okay, got it.
Yeah, and all of these elements are going to come back into play in some way, and it's just the slow way that this universe seeds itself. It's like, in this episode we're introduced to lightly to Skellige, which is like this universe's Viking / Scottish group of people. We're these slow ways that this is all seeded out, and all of this eventually grows in a really like satisfactory way that makes this world feel full. One aspect of adaptation that they did kind of like chuck with a little bit is that Mousak is technically a druid. He's not like a wizard.
What is a druid?
A druid. So like how in D&D there's like 8 different kinds of wizard you can be.
Right.
Druid is the one that's connected to like the natural world. So like Mousak has a magic wand with a rat skull at the end of it. Like he's one of those guys. He uses like kind of pagan approaches to magic, and in this they just made him like a very handsome man, which like, hey, no sweat to you. I understand.
I get it.
It's just it's an aspect that they adapted. They thought he would be a little off-putting, and like, okay, I get it.
Yeah. I get what you're saying. I think it also makes sense though, hearing the way that he's portrayed in the stories in the books, playing with the theme of like, who are the real monsters? People that are scary looking aren't necessarily scary people.
Exactly. Who are the real like we talked about it in the first episode, but like the Kikimora seems like what we would think of as a monster, and if you play the fucking Witcher 3, you'll kill 400 of them. But it's by the way, it's basically just like a bear,
right?
Yeah, get the third one. You can probably get it, and it's 2 like massive DLC packs for like $15. That's what I got it for. Like it's like 150 hours if you want it to be. It's
fuck me. Okay.
If you want it to be, or you could do a streamlined version and not. Just do what. My advice to you when you tackle these like big games like The Witcher or Spider-Man, just do what seems interesting. Just, if something doesn't seem interesting, just don't do it. There's no need to do the interesting like story things that catch your eye. You know what I mean?
Is there not just like one storyline?
So like in The Witcher 3, the video game, there is a main story. Like this is the main through line that will advance the plot, and then there are several big like meaty side stories of
which to tie it back to the only game I'm familiar with at this point,
Batman.
There are none in Batman.
Not really, no. There's
like Easter eggs of like the Riddler stuff that you can
the
like
Riddler trophies and the riddles that are like, let me get a character dossier for the Penguin because I took a picture of his umbrella in Arkham Asylum. And there are things like that in The Witcher 3. And then there are minor side quests that's like, hey, go kill this monster. And then there's like meteor side quests, which is like, help the sorcerers get out of this city that is about to persecute all sorcerers and burn them at the stake, or any of these larger stories. But I would honestly hold off on
How do you
buying
know
Witcher
which
3.
Ones are?
Sometimes it's obvious where it's like they label it like contract, and if you get a contract and it says contract monster name, basically all you're gonna do is go find and kill a big monster. But if a main story character is like, hey, can I talk to you later? Come see me in my cabin. You can go do that, and it'll be it. Gotcha. The game is pretty good at intuiting to you what is like interesting story stuff, or like a fun side adventure, or what is go kill a monster for some gold. And all that stuff is good. I would maybe hold off on it for a little bit, at least until you're like done with this season of the show, because the game takes place after the books, so there will be many spoilers. Just fair warning.
Oh, okay. There. So there's stuff I need to know. Gotcha. Okay. So yeah, I'm not gonna do the video game. I mean, I also have
Lots
two
of
more
games.
Batmans and Spider-Man and just BioShock and just a bunch of Tony Hawk Pro Skater 1 and 2 to play. So
Yeah. So, oh hell yeah.
I know the remaster is gorgeous.
Yeah, they say people
so
say
cool.
it's fun as hell. I haven't played it yet, but I am excited to eventually.
If you ever loved, that was the only video game that I ever played, and it's it's not like a storyline game. It's like you've unlocked this course, like beat your high score and like do these fun challenges. But like, oh man, that was like the only game I ever really played, and it was at my neighbor's house because she had a Nintendo 64 and like the old cartridge with the first Tony Hawk Pro Skater, and it was just like I was just in it. I'm obsessed with the game. It is shitloads of fun, so much fun.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. It sounds good. We I don't know. We haven't talked about much of the Yennefer story here besides the assassin being cool. But this is like the episode of, oh, you got what you thought you wanted, and it turned out to not be everything that it was baked up to be. That's basically what we're getting at here.
There wasn't too much to the story at this point. It was mostly just like, look at how far she's come.
Yes.
But it's not all it seems. And I can tell that it's setting up for something else.
Right.
But I have no idea what that is.
This season does something that sounds annoying to me and is like essentially an origin story for like Yennefer and Ciri, and like how does Geralt intersect with both of their lives. Again, spoilers, these characters meet at some point. But
I figured.
it sounds annoying, but they make each contained episode interesting and tells a mini story, so you don't feel like you're just fucking waiting for, like, I really like Daredevil season 1, for instance, but I'm also like, God damn it, just put him in the suit. Like, it's been 13 hours. Just put him in the thing. It's a TV show. At the end of episode 1, he should be calling himself Daredevil. You can do exactly the same show after that, but he's Daredevil now. That's all I want.
Right.
That's just a little something that annoyed me.
I do need to finish Daredevil because I did really enjoy that show.
Yeah. I just, I fell off. I got busy. I started working at a comic book store, and I was like, I need things that are not superheroes.
That are
to
not
enter
superheroes, right?
my brain.
Yeah.
I need something else. Whereas now I'm like, oh, I've been like away from it enough. I've been reading my little comics, and now I'm like, oh, I actually want to watch a superhero show where witch makes herself into a 50s housewife. I do want to watch that, actually.
I'm so excited. Oh my god. Oh my god. I've been watching so much bad superhero TV. Shouts out Arrowverse. That I cannot wait for the good stuff. Oh my god, I'm so stoked.
You got him again. Yeah, we're recording this like 3 days before that comes out, just so it'll come out after it's already out.
Just so you're aware. It's going to be released by the time you hear this, but
exactly.
Woo! Are we excited?
Yeah, exciting stuff. I am anticipating to watch it, because that seems like exactly my shit. Tom King Vision, Elizabeth Olsen Scarlet Witch, Catherine Hahn. All right, cool. Yeah. All right, great. Got it.
Let's freaking go. We're gonna get Monica Rambeau.
Say no more. And it's Tiona Paris, who like since Chirac, I've been fucking like waiting. I'm like, when is Hollywood going to take Tiona Paris and turn her into a superstar? And it feels like they're finally going to. So good for them.
Very exciting stuff.
Good for them. And I think Nia DaCosta is doing Captain Marvel too, and that's exciting. She's good at making things.
There's so much stuff happening.
There's a lot going on in this great wide world of ours, and in the great wide world of The Witcher. But we will cut things off here and wait for cut it out like a uterus, and
oh my god, no,
and move on for next week. Let's see, little pluggy plug. Anyway, I'm TV's Kevin Lanigan on the stuff. Most of the time, I'm just making angry political jokes now, so you have that to look forward to if you want. I've been doing it before, but now it's like 100% of what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And Greendale 3 is us, mostly community memes with some light Witcher memes that are also political. And I have a story about that after we stop recording, but I'm not going to put it on the record. Anyway, I bitch about Netflix so much that it feels like when they actually make something I enjoyed, it's time for me to like talk about it. You're watching The Witcher on that platform, and I just watched a great documentary series called Pretend It's a City, and it's the hardest I've laughed in a long time. It's forgive me, it's Martin Scorsese, and he made a 7-episode documentary series about Fran Lebowitz, the writer and cultural critic, and they're long friends. And if you
have you just been watching Scorsese documentaries?
Apparently, I'm on a real Scorsese kick, and I regret nothing. He makes really good things that I like watching.
I've heard he makes a good movie.
He makes a good movie, but it also like just came out this week, and I was like, oh, great. And I was like, oh, it's a series? I'm going to watch like a whole series? And then we watched it, no problem, this weekend, which I normally do not do. It's just very funny and engaging. And if you stacked Fran Lebowitz and Martin Scorsese on top of each other and put them in a trench coat, they could almost get a ticket to an R-rated movie. They're very short, is what I'm trying to get at here.
Oh my god.
But it's fucking hysterical. I laughed so hard, and it's been a while since I've laughed like real deep belly laughs. So that was good to see. So anyway, that's my recommendation for the week.
I love that. I don't have anything to pitch in at this point. I have been just I don't know how much of
Batman Arkham Asylum. Play it.
Is literally the only thing I've been doing, just because like I finally have a gaming system that's not like Pac-Man or whatever. So like it's this is a turning point for me. This is like a life-altering moment. I've been craving like interacting with other beings, whether or not they're real beings. It doesn't even matter apparently at this point. And like having doing things where I can see that I'm enjoying Batman is what I'm trying to say.
Calling up my friend Oracle.
That's all I have to say.
Asking her to send me new equipment. My friend Oracle.
My friend Oracle. I love that they're like in an. That's the other thing that I love. That I love that they chime in. They're like, not only you're already supposed to know who Batman is, you're already supposed to know the backstory of Oracle. And the fact that her dad is Jim Gordon, and that she used to be Batgirl. It's just like all of that is just I made me very happy.
Pretty good. We will be back next week with a lot of Geralt, Yennefer, and Jaskier, and even more nothing from Ciri. We did not fucking mention her like all episode because
she's barely in it. She's barely in either of these episodes. She pops up. We get her backstory. We don't get her.
The woods is not interesting to me, and thankfully
she walked into the woods and nothing has happened so far. She walked into the woods, she drank the liquid, and she goes, oh! And then there's a tree that's like, what are you doing here? And then cut.
They're just waiting for these characters to intersect. I know why we have to keep seeing her, and it's not long. It doesn't like take up a ton of time, but it is also not interesting.
I actually disagree in that. I think it does a decent benefit to us for the pacing. I think it gives you some time to kind of take a little reprieve from like these very complex developments and political structures, and then you just get like a little bit of like, and now this is you. You're lost, so is Ciri. And you're like, got it. Okay, cool. I think it's pacing-wise, it's pretty cool. And now we've talked about Ciri. So
and there we go. We did it. Very big Geralt, Jaskier, Yennefer episodes next week. But until then, speak normal.
I forgot that's what you're doing.
The sign-off is terrible. It's not a good one. I don't want to say toss a coin, dear Witcher. I don't want to.
No, that's
too easy.
A little bit of corn with a side of cheese.
Yeah.
Talk normal.
Talk normal.
Hope for the best. Expect the worst. Some drink champagne, some die of thirst. No way of knowing which way it's going. Hope for the best. Expect the worst. Hope for the best. Expect the worst. The world's a stage. We're unrehearsed. Some reach the top, friends. While others strong friends. Hope for the best. Expect the worst. I knew a man who said a fortune that was splendid. Then he died the day he plan to go and spend it shouting, live while you're alive. No one will survive. Life is sorrow. Here today and gone tomorrow. Live while you're alive. No one will survive. There's no guarantee. Hope for the best. Expect the worst.